Hi, welcome to UVA Diversifying Psychology Visit Day. I'm going to tell you a little bit about community psychology. So a little bit about me. My name is Lamont Stanley Bryant, the them pronouns. I'm a third year, first generation student, identify as a Black queer. I am in the fire lab with Sean Leaf. My area of interest, of research interest, is generational identity and social support and how they inform each other. And my inspiration for my research is from my personal experiences from working with the Black LGBTQIA community in Baltimore. These are the things that are most salient to me, the work I did mentoring Black queer youth. These experiences become really powerful entry-level pieces of inspiration for me. I only applied to community psychology programs because I was certified as a counselor. So I was doing individual level intervention and started doing public health. And for me, community psychology, I knew was exactly what I wanted to do because it was a more structural, more systematic on a larger level. And so I chose to pursue my PhD in community psychology because it really did move beyond focusing on an individual and recognizing that the person, that their behavior and their cognition psychology is interconnected and interrelated with social, political, and social cultural factors. And why did I select the program here? Is because I think the faculty's existing literature was just lit. I thought it was amazing. I thought it was great. I thought I was in my living room screaming and yelling. That's, I felt drawn to it. And so I wanted to be trained in by these individuals who were spearheading some great work. Right, so well, what is community psychology? That is the question, right? I think it's interesting to important to know that the community psychology emerged. It's one of the younger forms of psychology, and it emerged in the 1960s. So this is during in the United States during a period of unrest. So we have the civil rights movement, you have Black feminism, you have second wave feminism, you have Stonewall, gay liberation, you have trans women during the Compton cafeteria riots, you have a pushing against police brutality. So there was a lot going on in many ways, and some psychologists were frustrated with the limitations of psychology. And so community psychology was a way to shift and address these emerging ideas that have always existed. So what are the tenets of community psychology? The first one is ecological perspective. So research in community psychology goes beyond the individual focus. Instead, community psychology integrate broader social contexts of a person by considering their social, ecological, cultural, political influences that promote changes at the individual and also the systematic level. So they're interconnected, which is really important. And it accounts for just complex reciprocal interactions of the individual and their environment, which I thought was pretty cool, right? The second tenet is empowerment. Community psychology does not focus on people as the problem, but rather it shifts the focus to the pre-existing strengths among community affected by marginalization. So identifying factors that foster our resilience, our restoration in the face of social risk is where I think it's a beautiful golden nugget. And also the goal here is moving that spotlight onto interrupting the processes of marginalization and oppression, right? So purposeful, meaningful actions within science. In many ways, community psychology it moves away from first order change. So moving away from looking at the person as the individual as a problem, with first order change solutions is basically to maintain for stability. By going to moving towards second order change, looking at larger systematic issues, we're able to then provide more enduring solutions. Social cultural and cross-cultural understanding is the ability to value, integrate, to bridge multiple views, multiple cultures, multiple identities, and understanding that that is really important, that these voices are important to include in the literature. Community inclusion and partnership is the fourth pillar of Tenet. So we're looking at making sure that we are providing genuine space and representation for individuals, respect the community, being mindful of ourselves as we're moving into communities and not engaging in the exploitation, and also validating those differing perspectives and ideas that are so important to understand and bring to the forefront. And the last tenet is ethical reflective practices. So like being constantly seeking our own ethical improvement, thinking about our own ethical issues that are coming up and addressing them responsibly with some immediacy, right? And adopting like this values orientations towards your research, that your research is meaningful, it's meant to be used. So I think that is pretty cool about psychology. Okay, nice. So let's talk a little bit about the coursework. So each semester you'll be enrolled in 9 graded credits and 12 credits total for each semester. So the extra 3 plus can be non-graded courses that you're taking, but you always have 9 graded credits specifically for the first semester. And I would say that, other classes that become just standards are going to enroll into your lab. Obviously, you'll be working with your lab from the first semester. And then also every student will be attending community lunch. This is a great, is our speaker series. It's a great time to meet people, hear about scholars and community folks who are doing some amazing work, and to jot some notes down and hopefully be inspired. The first year, I would say it's front-loaded, right? So it's your immersive year. This is your chance to really suck it all in. This is where you're going to experience a lot of your foundational courses, and foundational courses both analytical. So look at analytical tools like qualitative 1 and 2, and also program evaluation, and also foundational courses for frameworks, right? So critical decolonizing and liberatory perspectives of community and psychology, and then also next semester after in your first year, looking at structural determinants of inequality. These are paramount classes. All of us leave it with feeling really informed. The second year is very different because the coursework does decrease, but you're being practicum through the entire second year. And this is the chance for you to receive a lot of supervised practical experience. You'll be engaged with community organizations and understanding that process. And you'll also be receiving a lot of feedback on writing, feedback like engaging in some peer review editing skills, like developing those skills that are super important, especially in preparation for your comps. And so, take the practicum really seriously, and it's really helpful. And more space, in your second year for electives. And this is, a lot of students want to learn more tools like multivariate analysis, multi-level analysis. And some students also enroll in certificate programs to bolster their repertoire of tools. And then you're done with coursework. So like the first 2 years is where the coursework happens. If you decide to do coursework after that, it's up to you. But a lot of the course, specifically the electives, hopefully it is in line with your research and you being mindful of that. And I will say that I experienced a lot of emotions throughout this entire process. I will say that, towards the end, I felt relieved, I felt pleased and proud of myself. But that's grad school work for you, right? So then you move into, after your first and second year, you move into your pre-dis. Your pre-dis is due before the beginning of the 3rd semester. And it's your time to focus on writing a publishable first author empirical paper. You go from conceptualization, from analyzing it to writing it out. My pre-dis was titled Connect to protect the monitoring roles of connectedness on gender racial microaggressions and vigilance among Black women. My findings were interesting. I was really interested in understanding the relationship between gender racial microaggressions and vigilance, but not just like, saying, oh yes, Black women are vigilant. No, but what are Black women naturally doing to like weaken that bond? And they're connecting with each other, right? And not just connecting with each other in person, but also connecting with each other on Twitter. So it was just really fun to really see that like idea actually show up in the data during analysis. You'll be working with your advisor for the most part. They're your first reader, and your second reader will just receive it towards the end and go through. That's when you kind of work out the kinks and it's ready to go. Well, that's all I have for you. My name is Lamont Bryant. That's my contact information. That's my Twitter. Follow me. I'll follow you back. And also, UVA Psych Department has their Twitter and Instagram, which is pretty cool. All right, bye.
Hi everyone, welcome to the UVA Diversifying Psychology Visit Day. Welcome to the Community Psychology session. So I'm Yanbing Butler-Lee, and I'm going to talk about my journey on how I found this program and how I came here and being here for several years already. So first, a little bit about me. I'm Yanbing, and I am a fourth year doctoral student and the community psychology program, and I work with Dr. Charlotte Patson in her sexual orientation, human development, and family life lab. And my research interests are how young adults of sexual minority groups and from Asian cultural backgrounds think about forming a family in the future, and what are the potential barriers, what are the potential facilitators, and informing how they think about family formation issues. And what inspired me to apply to graduate school? So the main reason was that I really want to do something for my communities that I care about. As a future psychology researcher, which program areas did I apply to? So because I'm interested in doing research about family information issues among young adults of diverse cultural backgrounds, more specifically from Asian cultural backgrounds, and also that I want to do something for the communities I care about as a Chinese lesbian woman. So I applied to a few relevant programs in the United States and in the UK, including community psychology programs, developmental psychology programs, and also some programs in human development and family studies. But as you might already know, that there is a relatively smaller number of community programs. And why did I choose to pursue my chosen area? I obtained my bachelor degree in psychology and my master degree in developmental and educational psychology in mainland China. I love doing psychological studies, but I was wondering when I was pursuing my bachelor degree and later pursuing my master degree, I was wondering and also was a bit confused that as a researcher, it seems we make little or even no inference on the reality, on the real world. It seems there is a disconnection between research and practices. And I really want to do some meaningful studies, not just to fill in their knowledge gap, but also very importantly, I hope I can use my research findings to make some real differences in the real world to help improve their diversity in the society. And so when I find the community psychology program here, when I read the description of the program, I was like, wow, that is what I want to do, to build a connection between research and practices. Why did I choose to attend UVA psychology? I already explained a little bit, because I'm very interested in doing research about family formation issues among Asian sexual minority people. And I care about my communities as a Chinese lesbian woman. So my advice is that as a perfect fit, and also the community psychology program also a perfect fit. So I accept that offer and I came here and I really appreciate this opportunity. On about comprehensive exam, so in the second or the third year, typically students in the community psychology program or in the larger psychology department, students will first complete the pre-dissertation study and write a manuscript for later publication. And later comes the comprehensive exam, the comps. So the comps for community psychology includes writing a review of the journal article, writing a syllabus draft, and writing a second manuscript for later publication. I feel the comps was very challenging, but also very fun. As an international student from mainland China, living in the United States during the COVID-19 pandemic, and that adds an extra layer of challenge to me. And also, it was the first time that I wrote a syllabus draft. I definitely love that part because I want to teach a course and I'm going to teach a course in the following semester. And writing manuscripts are always challenging for me, but also very fun. Also a very great opportunity that to learn that I learned how to better communicate my research findings with other researchers in the form of a research paper. So my dissertation project is still very draft, but I feel it's very fun to explore all the possibilities. So my current draft focuses on family formation issues among Chinese and Chinese American sexual minority women. If you are interested in relevant topics, feel free to contact me. I will put my contact later. I do want to be an academia, but at the same time, as a future community psychologist, I do want to work with the communities that I care about. And then to share some findings during the DI townhouse. DI represents diversity, equity, inclusion. So we have a very nice committee called DEI, And also we have a very nice grad student well-being committee has been working a lot to improve the diversity and to improve the well-being of the students and their psychology department. Just to share one finding here, the employment compiled by the DEI report. In the report, the still majority in academia, but also many in other like business or other research institutes or working in the government. We can see a variety here. And I put my contact here. And thank you. I want to end the picture that I took in 2018 in the Charlottesville Pride event. It was really a great event. Or I set the time alarm. So that's the end. I really look forward to seeing you in the future, maybe. But whatever choice you make, I wish you all the best of all your future endeavors. So take care.